Hey guys, this is Adam Acquistapace with Acquistapaces. Most of you know us that we're known for our wine, spirits, beer, fancy food, groceries. One of the things we're really known for is our meat business. So a few things that you guys really should know about meat is there's lots of different grades of meat. We carry in most cuts between select, choice, and prime. Really the big difference between those is the fat content inside. And so if you want something that's a little more lean, we go for the more select beef. If we want something that's in the middle, we look for choice. If we want something with a lot more fat, intramuscular fat, it's one of the things that makes beef taste tender and juicy, and that's what you want in that marbling that you're gonna find in prime beef. So some of the most important and popular cuts of meat that we have in red meat is filet mignon. Filet mignon is super tender. One of the great things about tenderloin is that piece of meat is super tender. That part of the cow doesn't exert a lot of pressure, so the meat that you get is going to be real fatty, but in such a good way that it's going to be super tender. So when you cook this thing, that's when you can cut this stuff like with a butter knife or even just a fork. So another piece of meat that is that's super popular and is really delicious is the ribeye. So you can have a bone-in ribeye or boneless ribeye. Bone-in ribeye, you can even get a bone-in filet. It's going to give it a little bit more richness when you cook it. But in this case, so this is a boneless ribeye, and but I'm going to show you a couple things on here. One, it comes from the rib. But you see this piece right here? This is called the spinalis. So the spinalis, this is maybe the most decadent and delicious part of the ribeye. So when you're picking out a ribeye, the heart, it's delicious and it's fine, but when you see this, if you want something that little crunchy and deliciousness, you want to look for the spinalis right here on the top. All right, now I'm going to show you this is my favorite cut of beef. This is what we call the New York strip. So the New York strip may be one of the most flavorful pieces of meat that you will find. It's great in the oven, it's great on the grill, it's great in a pan, and you're gonna get, and especially if you've got one that's got great marbling, all of these cuts of meat are fantastic as in prime grade. What is prime grade? Prime grade is, it has the most amount of fat that you'll get in most of these steaks. There are steaks that have more fat. It really depends on what you're looking for, but I think for most cuts, prime has like that optimum amount of intramuscular fat that allows that steak, when you cook it, it melts in the inside, and that's where you get all that delicious flavor from. But New York strip is one of the most flavorful steaks that you will ever buy. So I get asked all the time, how do you cook your steaks? Well, I love strips, ribeyes, and tenderloin. But the way that I like to do it is I'm really simple. I like salt, pepper, a little bit of seasoning, and I love to use butter. Love to use butter, and it makes it delicious. So I usually use a cast iron skillet, turn the oven on. I'll sear the steak on each side, so salt and pepper it, a little Cajun seasoning, and sear it on both sides, and I'll put it in the oven for a little bit and pull it out, and it is ready to go. But look, this is what's really important. Be sure when you take your steak out, you need to let it rest. When I mean rest, I mean like at least 10 minutes. So I know it's gonna be hard. You're gonna wanna cut off a little piece of the side as soon as you're cutting it, a little bit for the chef, but trust me, you wanna keep the juices inside, and that's how you do it. Well, thank y'all so much for coming to check us out over here at Acquistapaces. We have in-house butchers that cut meat all day, every day, and so it's always fresh for you. And so we've got plenty out here, and we pile it high.